Hello and welcome to Heartbeat Alaska. Native News, Native Information. I'm Jeannie Green. If you're a first-time viewer, you're watching the only program in America that mirrors the lives of Native Americans and Alaska Natives on a weekly basis. And today we travel to a remote village called Huslia, Alaska. In this community, Athabascans still live the traditional way, a way that is steeped in working with the environment for a living that includes getting their own food, their tools, and maintaining traditions of their ancestors as best as they could in this modern times. It's a fabulous show. We'll be back with Huslia, Alaska right after this.
Hi, Heartbeat Alaska from Galena, Alaska.
Heartbeat Alaska is brought to you in part by Coastal Villages Region Fund. Thank you, CVRF, for your support of Heartbeat Alaska. And
by the Nature Conservancy of Alaska, working with Alaska's rural communities to conserve and protect our natural heritage.
Hi, I'm Mark from Scan Home, and we are proud to sponsor Heartbeat Alaska.
Scan Home, serving all of Alaska's home and office furnishing needs. Thank you, Scan Home, for making Heartbeat Alaska possible.
Heartbeat Alaska is brought to you in part by Brown's Electric Lighting Gallery. Thank you, Brown's Electric, for your generous support of Heartbeat Alaska.
When you first arrive in Huslia, you think, brr, and then you're taken back by an overwhelming reception of the many friendly faces that are there to greet you and pick up the incoming supplies for the village. And although it's 10 degrees below zero, you get a warm feeling from these strong Athabascan people. It's a feeling of respect and admiration for a culture that has survived for hundreds of years on their own. Located in the Koyukuk National Wildlife Refuge, Huslia is a beautiful community that takes pride in their heritage. 290 miles west of Fairbanks, this Athabascan village is located on the banks of the Koyukuk River, which is their main transportation route year-round. And speaking of transportation routes, these girls are running Tim Pavlik's dogs around 6 Mile Track. It's part of their heritage, a part that these young ladies will someday pass down.
You get to get on and you get to run and everything. Like, feels like you're lost or something.
What kind of sounds do you hear when you're out there?
Nothing, just the wind and everything. And the dogs going. Then you bring them back and then you take them off the house and feed them.
They're going to mix it until the food's really mixed up nice. The kids here are helping me out with the dogs like they usually do. They've been looking forward to running them all summer long. They help me feed the dogs all summer, clean the yard, water them. Oh, they enjoyed it a lot. Sometimes I had a four-wheeler to hook up my dogs, and I had the four-wheeler behind us, and both are packed.
There was once a documentary filmed in Huslia called Make Prayers to the Raven. They are the keepers of this land, the eyes and ears of the spirit world, a reminder of where you really are.
Like you're in a good, safe place, and you're relaxed. Because we were away when I did my student teaching 2 years ago, and then I went to Akiak to teach. We came home. It was so good. We were so glad to be near our family. That family is what really makes a difference for me. You have to have that family life. And then family, you have to be able to define that as working together.
And working together in harmony. Each week, Heartbeat Alaska brings you great stories from all over the state. And we couldn't do it without the generous support of Frontier Flying Service. Frontier gets our camera crews where they need to go. So whenever you see a Frontier plane, give them a wave.
Say hi from Knoxhead.
You might just be on Heartbeat Alaska.
Frontier Flying Service, covering Alaska for over 50 years.
If you visit Barrow in the summertime, it can be hard to sleep with that 24-hour sunshine. So, the King Eider, Barrow's newest hotel, does everything to make your stay quiet, relaxing, and worry-free. Don't worry about a cab. The King Eider is a short walk from the airport. Need to get around town? No problem. The King Eider rents cars. Want a room with a kitchenette? The King Eider's got them. Smoke-free, alcohol-free. It's the hotel so clean, they ask you to take your shoes off when you come in the door. The King Eider Inn, Barrow, Alaska.
Thousands of miles away from their homes, more than 400 Alaska Natives are incarcerated in the Central Arizona Detention Center. One day a year, they are allowed to remember their friends, family, and villages with a potlatch of native foods. You can help our estranged brothers and sisters by gathering and sending your donation of native foods to this celebration. For more information about this event, please contact Karen Nagel at 4500 Diplomacy Drive, Anchorage, Alaska 99508, or call 907-269-7391.
Welcome back. Huslia, Alaska is a fabulous place. It's one of my most favorite villages in the whole state of Alaska. Part of it's because the people are so neat there. They're wonderful people who still maintain their traditional lifestyle. Let's meet some of those people right now in Huslia, Alaska. It's a small village, just under 300 people, that lives a subsistence lifestyle, hunting moose, caribou, bear, waterfowl, rabbit, and other small game. Salmon berries and blueberries can also be found during the summer months. The community of Huslia is advanced by some standards. They are all tied into a well, which provides running water for all the homes, most of which are log cabins built by the residents of the village. A sewer system has made honey buckets long obsolete, and 3 family-owned stores supply those things that Mother Nature cannot. It's a comfortable life for those who live here. There is one catch, though. You have to have a taste for
moose meat that's smoked in the smokehouse for 5 days, along with smoke and some garlic salt. And then after we dry it, we bag it in gallon bags. Then we chop it up like this in little pieces, and we just munch on it with little bear fat, which is right there. It's just like we dice up the bear fat and we make it like bacon and take all the grease out of it, and we put grease in a cup. And we eat that separate too with some dry meat, but this right here is just bear fat. For me to get this fish, I trade with my sister down at Kaikook. I send her some of this dried moose meat, and then she sent me fish of the same weight, and that's how we trade. We don't buy fish. One so far.
Josh Olin has lived here in Huslia for most of his life, 46 years to be exact. Not only is Josh the second chief of Huslia,
Okay, yeah, I don't have very much mail going out.
but he is also the representative for Warblow Air and Right Air Service, 2 passenger and freight outfits that travel to remote villages around Alaska. With the help of his 2 sons, Donovan and Ryan, Josh and his family keep busy in this tiny town, hauling cargo and mail back and forth around Huslia. Donovan Olin's day is a long one. When the planes get close to town, Donovan hops in his truck and takes off for the post office, where he picks up the outgoing mail for the incoming plane.
Every day, maybe 2 hours a day. Mostly just waiting for the plane and stuff though.
Then it's back to the post office with everybody's mail and off to the family grocery and hardware store until the next plane calls in. As for Selina Farmer, her day starts off a little differently. Selina doesn't get rolling until Justice is served her toothbrush. You see, Justice is Selina's young daughter. Then it's off to work, which is the next room over. Selina and her father own and operate the Huslia General Grocery Store.
He opened it in July, and I moved home like a month and a half ago. But before that, he'd send me up some money, and I'd go shopping for him, and it's a lot of work.
It's a busy life for all those who live in Huslia, including the kids who are busy at school, learning all those things that we've forgotten, and some things we've never learned. And after a hard day at school, it's time to relax. Or use up whatever energy they have left. As for the older kids, nothing takes the edge off a rough day at school like a little... Or maybe a little... Work is something that these people are not afraid of, and it takes a great deal of it to make a life for yourself in this often windswept land. It's a way of life that demands respect from any and all other cultures. Chums, or dog salmon, make up a large part of their diet, as well as their dogs' diets. Hudson Sam and his family are busy pulling a net that was set only hours ago. And they will be busy for the next 30 minutes because this net has close to 100 fish caught in it. If the flesh of the fish doesn't meet Hudson standards, it's cut for the dogs to be fed to them throughout the winter, all of the fish is hung to dry.
But these ones are for the yogurt that's half dry.
The thinly stripped fish is for human consumption, and the thicker cut fish is for the dogs. It's a tradition and a talent that continues to be passed down from generation to generation. In fact, these two girls are learning the art of cutting fish for the first time today.
Wow, look how bloody it is.
I can't cut the boat.
I cut fish and I enjoyed
I cut fish too.
my first time.
It took us, both of us, like 10 minutes to do one fish.
And I even carved a little boat too.
You didn't carve no boat.
I did.
Any way you slice it, these kids are experiencing new things from a time long ago, a time that still lives strong today. All across Alaska, there are people working hard to make this a better place. There are people working to bring families and villages together, working to save lives, working to get you home. Grant Aviation, they'll get you home.
This is Grant Fairbanks. He's a pretty nice guy. He's lived in Bethel a long time. He owns Brown Slough Bed and Breakfast.
We have two bed and breakfasts, the north building and the south building. We have 4 rooms in each.
Whenever we visit Bethel, we stay at Brown Slough, and Grant serves us a great breakfast.
Quiet atmosphere, it's homey, it's very clean, it's safe and secure.
We'd like to thank Grant and the whole crew at Brown Slough Bed and Breakfast.
What do you say we go back to the fish camp? I can't think of a better place right now to go to. So let's go and finish up at the fish camp and explore daily life with the good people in Huslia, Alaska.
How long are you leaving there?
From the cutting table, these fish make their way to Selina Sam, where she hangs them for drying. It's something that Selina has been doing for years, something that was passed on to her by her elders. Keeping with tradition, many of the youth here at Fish Camp will learn how to jar and store fish.
Anybody else want to try?
What are you doing?
Then you just make your mark.
Yeah.
And then you go again. And then you just cut it right there and you cut it in half. Okay.
How are you?
Okay, these are too big. Look.
What about this one?
That's Carrie's.
That's the big one.
I was just all gung-ho about this because I saw Agnes do it.
Yeah.
For these people, Fish Camp is more than just a getaway. It's a chance to practice and teach the ways of their ancestors.
Well, we basically got water for the camp. It's pretty fresh water. It's glacier water. Tastes pretty good.
From the water to the food, using whatever nature has to provide. The people of Huslia have learned how to survive off the land and thrive in an area where many would never even try. Even much of their clothing comes from the land they walk upon.
Lorna made this.
This is for patlats for your sister.
Okay, they usually make slipper tops and slippers for memorial patlats, what's coming up for my sister.
Finished, I still have to do this part.
And this
is mine too.
This is how they put in the background. This one right here is for glove top. This is how they fix it. And this is wolf skin.
For many,
This is,
keeping up on their traditional practices and activities isn't just a way of passing time. It's also a way of keeping in touch with who they are and where they come from.
Let glass go inside here. That's a glass case. Oh, this is another glove top. This is how it is. And this is a scissors holder. You put the scissors in here. And she made that. And this looks like it goes on top of slippers, boots. We don't have one around here.
They have one,
Yeah.
this, something like this go on the front.
Oh yeah, and it goes like that.
Oh, that's
Okay, this is a glove. Looks like a homemade. Looks like a homemade gloves. All the moose skin, beaver skin, and it goes like this. Mm-hmm. It's when you dry your snowball. Oh, no more dog teams. Okay. And now this is a ruff she'd been working on.
Yeah.
This is a woman's ruff. This is the caribou. I'm not caribou. Wolverine and wolf. You can see on the inside how she sew all the pieces together.
Yeah, that's back part.
So it can be round. Like this. Oh, looks like this is another one. This is just a wolf skin, that one. This is Mom's pastime. She likes to dress up dolls, and she make homemade clothes for it. And she usually make native style clothes.
Lisa gave me that doll.
Yeah, her grandchildren gave her the doll, store-bought dolls, and she just dressed it up.
That's when I got Lisa's to make fish and mix.
And this is Mother's pride and joy, I guess. This is where all her stories go and all her songs go. It's an old-fashioned tape recorder holder.
It's a place where the young people can have fun, the good old-fashioned way.
Go hunting, trapping, and go target practicing, skiing, ice skating, playing basketball, Indian kickball.
And these young people are dedicated to keeping the community alive.
I try and get more jobs here, learn my native language, and try to teach it. Teach all of the different skills that they know.
Skills that will last the kids of Huslia a lifetime.
They need someone who can really teach them about our native culture, and they need to know that it ain't all that boring. We need more games. The rec center was a big change. Everybody loves rec center.
Selina Sam oversees the rec center in Huslia. But more importantly, she gets involved with the kids, which is just what these kids need.
One of my goals is to work toward getting them to communicate with their parents and to their pairs, work together. In order to be a family, in my views, you have to work together with your children and your brothers and sisters. Work as a family. But I don't know how you would say it, how that you have to be able to communicate with each other instead of just take it for granted that your parents will put food on the table for you all the time.
Because it's not always easy putting food on the table. Like this bear, for example, which made for some delicious bear stew. It's quite the change from McDonald's and Taco Bell. A change you have to taste to appreciate.
That's the ram of Huslia.
But there's no time to eat for Donovan and his dad, especially when there's another plane coming in and it's got something special on board. Some lucky kid will be smiling tonight, and so will the Olin family, because this snow machine is for them. It's kind of like that feeling you get when you've been gone for a while and return to your home. That warm reception of family and friends, that feeling of security and comfort. It's a place that we here at Heartbeat Alaska will hold close to our hearts and will remember fondly for years to come. Thank you, everyone in Huslia, Alaska, for sharing your life with the viewers of Heartbeat Alaska. And thank you for joining us. We'd love to hear your comments. Visit our website at jeanniegreen.com. Email me at jeanniegreen@ak.net. I thank you for all your phone calls. We hear from so many viewers every single week, and we love to hear from you. Send a letter to Jeannie Green Productions, 6216 Old Seward Highway, Anchorage, Alaska, 99518. From all of us here, we thank you for joining us. God bless every one of you, and we'll see you again next week.